All right, spiritual superstars. Come on in. Come on in. Type in your hashtag and your 4 1s, the opening of the spirit realm. And come on in the room. Come on in the room. We are going to talk about breaking from toxic patterns and behaviors in order to move forward successfully. And what I share with you today is what keeps me moving forward and keeps me from staying stuck. All right, I'm going to share some tips that really help me out, and I hope and pray that you receive value today. So hit that thumbs up button, show me some love. I greatly appreciate that. And we definitely accept your donations, so thank you for that in advance. And let's go ahead and get started, okay? Take a deep breath in. Inhale deeply, kissing your higher self, connecting with the divine, letting it out. Again, breathe in deeply. This is God's love. And let it out. All right. Okay, so toxic behavior, toxic patterns. They don't always come from other people. Sometimes they come from right here. And I believe that we first have to acknowledge that. We have to embrace that we are not perfect, that we are born with fault. We are part human, and that means that we are partly fear based, faulty, imperfect, mistakes energy, right? But we're also the soul within our human. And we know that there's a higher part of ourself. There's an elevated person inside of us, it feels like, right? Feels like we can do the right thing, but we have that choice. So I believe that as the soul within our human, we are a dual being, but we also have to come together in order to be in a position to move forward. We have to be in agreement within ourselves. So, breaking toxic patterns and behavior is a process. Here's a couple of the things that I do to make sure I don't stay stuck. Whether it's geographical, whether it is in personal relationships, um, partnerships, whether it's with a partnership with a company, um, groups of people, a person, a level in my businesses, whatever it is. So, one of those things that I repeat in doing is talking to my human. I have those discussions, and you may feel like talking to your human is crazy. I don't. How many of you talk to yourself? That's a big deal. If you're not talking to yourself, you're ignoring yourself. And if you're ignoring yourself, then it's like you're hating on yourself. And if you're hating on yourself, then yourself is going to screw you over. And you know what happens when we screw ourselves over? It's called sabotaging. And when we sabotage, we definitely stay stuck because sabotaging stops us from moving forward, right? All right, all right. Who does that? Tanya says she does it all the time. So, Tanya, we're going to stop that because we need to embrace our human self. So many of you have heard me, you've coached with me, you have done programs with me. And one thing that we do all the time is we have to know our human. What is your human's name? What is it? What is it? My human's name is Jennifer. That's my first name. Me, the soul within Jennifer, I'm Nicole. That's my middle name. And that is who I have always introduced myself to, people that I don't feel as guarded with, that I don't feel like I have to protect myself from, that I feel energetically are okay and they're safe. Jennifer, you knew me by work, school, or someone else that knew me as Jennifer. You certainly didn't know me as Nicole. As if you did know me as Nicole, then I felt comfortable enough to say that. So you got to know the difference. One of my clients realized that her human's name was just a spin-off, or her soul's name, excuse me, was a spin-off of her human's name. She traveled, and in the country she was in, they couldn't pronounce her name. But as soon as they mispronounced it a certain way, it gave her the tingly, the itching, the crawling sensations all over her human, and she knew that is my name. And so they were steady trying to pronounce it the way she wanted. She said, no, 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 that felt right. That sounds right. And she claimed it. And so that is her, the soul within her human, who kept the name that they were mispronouncing. Okay? So comment. Do you know what your human's name is? If so, what is it? Do you know what your name, the soul within your human is? And if so, what is it? And when you comment, you participate and you share with the universe that I'm not crazy. And you also validate yourself. So one of those other things that I do is I do have those conversations with my human, and I am talking to my human as if she is another person right here. Here's what happens when you've been doing this long enough. I don't even say Jennifer anymore. There's a couple of people, there's really one person that calls me Jennifer in my life, and I certainly don't mind, but there's just one person. Jennifer just does not exist the way I used to know her. And so when I'm talking to my human, it's Nikki, it's Nicole, because I have now since elevated beyond that. And so it's a beautiful feeling. It's, oh, come on now, you know better than that. Or come on, it's going to be all right. Having that conversation, right? And that allows us to begin to at least look at what we need to strip away from. It's the pull that we need to detach from the toxic behavior or patterns. But if we're not looking at ourselves from outside of ourselves, how can we really get a good understanding of where to begin? Because chances are you're not going to do the next step until you've done it within. And the next step is sharing with an accountability partner. Who do you really trust? To ask, what are my toxic patterns? What is the stuff in me that gets under your nails, that gets under your skin? How do I upset you? You know, when you say you're pissed off, how are you pissed off at me? What do I do that pisses you off? Just keep it real with this person. This is the person you trust, right? So don't come at them holier than thou, and don't come at them with anything less than that confidence. Hey, I need your help. What do you see about me that can change? They may ask you, well, what goal are you trying to seek? Well, I need more money. Well, you need to stop spending your money then. And you're going to be like, what? Yeah, you always broke, but you work. So how are you always broke and you work? You go to somebody that's going to tell you the way it really is. All right? Can I get an amen off of that one? Hallelujah. Okay? You know, thumbs up. Can I get a thumbs up for that? Because if you're playing yourself, then you're staying away from that person and you're not asking them anything. Okay? Those are the kinds of friends that I keep. Those are the people that I have around me in my circle. I need you to keep it real with me. I need you to call me on my sugar honey iced tea. And if you want me to call you on yours, I'm happy to do that because I want you to grow. I want you to be successful. I want you to be happy, right? And I want you to want that for me. I want us to run together, you know? I want that. So you have to want that for yourself, but you have to take that step and call on other people that are your accountability partners. And let me tell you, spiritual superstar, if you don't have that in your life, it's time for some new friends, right? It's time for some new friends, right, Tiffany? Right, Alexis? It's time for some new friends. If you don't have anybody in your circle that is really in your corner, and not for selfish reasons. There's some people, that are going to be selfish about it and are in your corner because they see where you're going and they want some of that. So it's for selfish reasons. But when you got people in your circle that truly care about you succeeding in your goals, that's some powerful energy that you're collaborating with. Okay? I know that's right. I know that's right. Absolutely. So, another way that you're going to break these toxic patterns and behavior is not only sharing it with an accountability partner, but writing it down. Writing it down. You have to have written word, right? How many times are you looking into written word called the Bible, the Quran, your spiritual prayer book, your any sacred spiritual text is there, right? So that you can deepen in it, right? It's written. The word is written, right? You can draw from it. You can pull from it when you need it. It's there. Your thoughts up here have to be written down. So, for example, let me just show you the whole carton over here. Okay? There's 4 books in here. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 behind me. These are journals for different reasons. There is a personal journal for my family and family goals, personal goals. There is this I chose specifically for business to keep me encouraged. I hope you can see the words there. Very specific, right? Very specific. And writing down what's up here allows me to go back and see my growth. Because actually, spiritual superstar, you will stay stuck if you're not showing you're human how you've moved forward and how it's possible to keep moving forward. Your human has to see it. Your human must see it to believe it. If it's all up here all the time, you're trusting your faulty human. Does that make sense? Hit the thumbs up button if that makes sense. Comment if that makes sense. So you are talking to yourself, right? You are talking to an accountability partner that you trust. Don't get somebody that's a yes person. Don't get somebody that's just going to tell you what you want to hear. Don't do that. And don't get somebody that's got an agenda. Use your spiritual gifts to know who to trust. Who is a confidant to you? You know, who can you really trust? Are they going to betray you behind closed doors when they don't think that, you know, you're going to find out? Are they talking about you behind your back? Don't talk to them. Those are the ones you got to stay away from. They don't want you to succeed. Okay? Then write that stuff down. Write it down. Your ideas are coming to you from our Creator. No one else can see that. Nobody is given that private information, just you. You are gifted that. And so you must record it, right? That is precious. How in the world do you think we got spiritual sacred text? We recorded it. Humans recorded it. They recorded the visions. They recorded the spiritual guidance. They recorded the messages they were receiving. Your journey, your life, your dreams are no less important. You deserve to manifest every single dream that you have been blessed with. If y'all don't type a amen, I mean claim it. Claim it and receive it. So write it down. All right? Write it. You've got a bunch of knowledge. You've got a bunch of wisdom. Write it down. You're getting downloads all the time. The next day, you forgot about it. Then what happens? It's the beginning of the year. Before you know it, it's the end of the year. And what happens? Spirit shows you the same exact vision. Does that not happen to you? It happens to me all the time because I'm not perfect. So the stuff that I haven't written down in all these doggone journals, every single one, when I get to that point and I know I need to be checked and I hear myself be checked, I can hear God talking to me, you know you better write that down. Or I get checked by one of my accountability partners. Well, what happened? The next time I see that vision, I'm breaking my neck to try to write it down. I ain't gonna say that. I'm working hard to write it down. I take that back. I'm writing it down. Writing it down, writing it down. If I have to put it in my phone, you know, I'm writing it down. What do I have to do? If I have to voice record, I'm writing it down. I'm putting it in some kind of a message so that I can go back to it. But it sticks. Okay? And it shows you're human. Okay, there's a plan being made. And so that's my next step is plan it. Plan it. Right? Plan it. You've got to plan it. So if you're not planning your best life, honey, how in the world will it happen? You can say that you're doing this, you're doing that, but then you know what happens? A wave of energy just comes on in and you feel a certain way because you just saw an ad about now doing this for a living. Okay, well, I just saw someone's Instagram page and it was gorgeous. For real, early this morning. And I'm like, oh, Spirit, Lord, Do I need to be doing that too? Literally, that's exactly what I said to God. Lord, do I need to be doing that? Let me pray about this. God was like, absolutely not. That's not your journey. I told you what to do. You know what I saw? The book that I'm writing. So what did I do? Got busy on my book. Mm, 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 mm. So when you write it down, it becomes clear. You've got something to go by. And guess what you're going by? The plan that you're co-creating with God. Period, point blank. You share it with people when it's time. Before that time, you don't. Okay? So plan it all the way. Here's what happens is that you are reverse engineering that vision. If you don't know how to do that, that's why I'm here. I'm a coach. And right now we have our scholarship open for a couple more spaces, and Coach Darian and I are helping with relationship blueprint. So winter's coming. If you're not happy in your love life, we definitely can help you get to where you need to be. Choice is always going to be yours no matter what. Okay? I can help you with your spiritual journey. That's not his thing. But what is his thing is life, and he's good at it. So let's say that you are needing to just create more money. The stimulus is going away. Social Security, have you seen that? That freaked me out. Social Security is, they said, is drying up in a couple of years, and um, this came from the government, and I think CNN or I don't know, one of the news outlets. But that's pretty serious in the United States. That's all I can speak of. But we've got these waves of circumstances happening. And write it down. Whatever vision you're getting, write it down. And coach with somebody that resonates with you. If it's not me, find the right coach. Therapist, absolutely. If you think you need a therapist to go back through your childhood wounds and through whatever's going on with you right now, do that. I'm big on therapy. I think therapy is absolutely necessary. And in coaching, the blessing with us is that people have chosen coaching versus therapy because they weren't getting what they needed out of therapy. And that's a humbling thing when you get that kind of feedback. And I received that because I'm good at what I do, if I do say so myself. But I approach our sessions with my spiritual foundation, my morals and my ethical values, and we're private. It's confidential. And I share that disclaimer with all of my coaching clients. You may have heard me say this, that it will always be confidential unless I hear that you'll harm yourself or anybody else. And I've had that happen. And so I definitely want you to be safe and everyone else to the best of my ability. But my point is, if not me, go to somebody that can move you forward because we're at the end of 2021 already. And I want you to go into 2022 fully embracing your full life, your full self, and the full blessings that are already signed and being delivered to you. What you don't want to do is be like this, blind, and you're missing it. Thank you, Alexis, for putting our information in there. Thank you so much. Alexis also, she took advantage of our new and improved coaching scholarship. And Alexis, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about what you're looking forward to or what made you do that, where the trust came in. Um, awesome. Let's see. Angel says, I'm writing a book, but I don't know what to do next. Well, Angel, if you are open to coaching, we definitely can help you move you forward. You need to get that book out there. And there's so many different outlets, there's so many different ways to do that and to monetize it in a way that feels good to you and gives your audience value. Because at the end of the day, that's what we have to do as light workers. If we're not living that life, for me, I don't get gratification unless I'm giving someone value and I'm helping someone move themselves forward. You know what I mean? So I don't want you to trip over your own feet. But we break those patterns, we break those toxic cycles by doing those steps that I shared with you today. At least I do, and I pray that they help you too. Come on back and comment on this video and let me know while you're doing the steps how it's working for you. And I will see you very, very soon. All right? I love y'all. Mwah.